Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to work on a do-it-yourself bohemian wall hanging. It's really pretty mint green with some pops of color with the flowers. So here's the supplies we're going to need to do this project today. I picked out some lace ribbon from my local craft store, a nice textured yarn. This way, if you have the textured yarn, you don't have to cut quite as much because it makes it a little bit fuller. Nice pop of color on my faux flowers, some ribbon that matches the lace ribbon because we're going to need to cover this metal hoop. You don't have to cover your metal hoop. If you choose a color you like, you can choose to leave it natural. I am choosing to cover it just to give it a more neutral look. Also, we'll need some scissors and your trusty old glue gun with some glue sticks. So here we go. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is wrap our metal hoop. I've got this ribbon, it's a little bit of a satin ribbon. We're gonna go ahead and start wrapping our metal hoop with it. So I use a little dot of glue to secure it to the metal hoop. First off, and then we'll start wrapping it. We want to try to wrap it nice and tight, and you'll notice as we go, every few wraps, I'm going to place another dot of glue just to keep it nice and secure. So this will be the most time-consuming part of this whole project. It's kind of fun to wrap it around, but you'll notice it just takes a little bit of extra time. So just kick back and keep wrapping. And don't forget to do your glue spots every few wraps. And keep it nice and tight. Also, when doing this project, I like to use a thinner size ribbon. This is like 1/2 inch size. If you use the thicker ribbon, you think like, oh, it's gonna cover the ring faster. Like, that's a great thought, but it actually bunches up. So it's not quite as effective at laying flat onto the hoop, but it is a great idea. So try to stick with 1/2 inch, probably not smaller. Maybe you can go a little bigger, but this has been the best size to work with for me. We're getting close to the end. Let's just keep wrapping. A few more wraps. Getting close. Okay, we're coming up on the end here. We just want to do our final few wraps. We're gonna put a spot of glue on there, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. I like to overlap only 1 or 2 wraps. I don't want it to look too thick in a spot. Put a little dab of glue once you have gone over a wrap or so. And then I like to cut it on a diagonal. It actually helps it sit nice and flat. So go ahead and cut your ribbon. We'll pull the rest off of there that's gotten cut up on the hoop. Wrap the last little bit around. Go ahead and put a little glue on the end. Just a tiny bit of glue. You'll notice the less glue you put on, the better. The more glue you put on, the more you're going to be able to see that there's little bumps and lumps in your hoop. So just be careful of that. So go ahead and wrap it the rest of the way. And there we have it. Our nice hoop all finished, covered with our really pretty minty green ribbon. Okay, so next step is going to be to start adding our lace ribbon. So I went ahead and pre-cut this, but the way to figure out your length Honestly, I just held it up, no special way, but I held the ribbon up here to see what looked proportionate. We will be trimming the bottom at the end, so I made it a little bit longer. I really wanted mine about this length. I'd say that's about 2.5 feet. So go ahead and make sure you cut it twice the length because we're going to be folding it over. So here's the middle, fold it over, and go ahead and cut your ribbon, your lace ribbon. So I'm just going to show you in mine. I only have 6 pieces of lace ribbon. I have the yarn, the textured yarn on the inside in between each ribbon. So the way I have it configured is 2 lace, 5 yarn, 1 lace, 5 yarn, 1 lace, 5 yarn, and 2 more ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, now that you've got your ribbon cut, how to attach to your metal hoop. So here's the center of the metal hoop. We're going to go ahead and just layer it over, open the hoop, and pull it through. Super easy. Pull it tight onto your hoop. Because this is a thicker ribbon, I try to just kind of squish it in a little bit and tug at it, makes it sure it's nice and tight. All right, so we have 1, and like I said, I'm putting 2 on the outer edge. So I'll grab my second one. Same thing, find the center, put the hoop underneath, and pull the 2 ends of the ribbon through. Get it right up next to that other ribbon and pull it tight. Okay, and so now make sure you also go ahead and get your yarn cut. And I have 15 strands of yarn cut, and do it in the same length as your ribbon. And I have not pre-cut that, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that now. So I'm going to use the same measurement off of one of my lace ribbons here. I know, so precise. We could use a measuring tape. If you're into that, you are right ahead. I'm a little bit more eyeball-y, so I just go ahead and eyeball it, get it done. All right, so I'm going to be making 15 of these real quick. I will be right back. And I just do these one at a time. So I always try to do these the same way. So we're always going to go under with the hoop, 1 strand, and then pull the 2 ends through, excuse me. 2 ends through. Okay, and we're going to do 5 of those on there. All right, this is number 5. Make sure you squish them all up next to each other nice and tight. Double check that everything's pulled tight. And then we're going to put on our next ribbon. And this was our middle yarn stripe. So we've got our 1 ribbon, and we're going to add our last 5 strands of yarn here. This is just so fun. Like, I've always wanted to do one of these. I've seen them in shops. I've seen them on Etsy, and I've always wanted to buy one, but they're always so expensive. So when I thought about it, I was like, I could make one of those, you know? I can't spend $100 on one of these, you know? So to make one for less than $20, like, it's a deal. And it doesn't take much time either. We were spending probably 30 minutes on this project. When you make your wall hanging, leave me a comment the colors you decided to do yours. Mint green's beautiful. I'm sure it will look beautiful in other colors as well. Okay, last piece of ribbon going on here. Pulling it through, tightening it on. So be sure to check it out. Make sure that the spacing looks good. You're happy with how many strands you have. It's easy to go back and add more because we did cover the whole hoop. You can always adjust these. Move them out a little bit, put some more in there. But here is my product here before we finish it. And next, we're gonna go ahead and add our flowers. I chose this nice pop of color here. I like this color, it goes with the minty green really well. And I chose these faux flowers because they had more greenery on them than others. Also, if you look on the back, they're bendable so you can move them. So I really wanted to kind of contour the hoop. So I'm going to bend some of the greenery the other direction. And curl it so it kind of curves a bit more. We're kind of going to make this asymmetrical design. So I'm going to kind of hold it up here, make sure that I like how it looks. Do I want the flower lower? Maybe we'll even switch sides. So I'm going to also glue the flower branches to my hoop. Okay, so here's our final design. The only thing we have left is the bottom. If you kind of like a look that is uneven or just kind of natural, you can leave it this way. I prefer to have a look that is a little bit curved at the bottom, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. So we'll lay it out nice and flat. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. I just lay it flat and eyeball it. Okay, double check that it looks good. There you have it. The bohemian wall hanging. Alright guys, so here's my final wall hanging. I wasn't happy with the placement of the flower, it just seemed a little off. So I went ahead and gently removed it, put it down a little bit and re-glued it. So it definitely looks much more in a better place, really. So if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you want to see me do next in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time for more DIY crafts.